Good afternoon from the KELOLAND Live Doppler Storm Center. We're following a couple of showers, an isolated thunder shower moving into, wouldn't you know it, northwestern Iowa. These will continue to travel to the northeast during the early afternoon. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. It's humid too. Eastern and southeastern KELOLAND still with dew point temperatures in the middle 60s. So we are holding that 20% chance for these isolated showers, thunder showers in eastern KELOLAND. Afternoon highs in the 70s and 80s. More details on your forecast coming up as we begin midday in KELOLAND.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
A Rock Valley, Iowa man is dead after the flooding trapped him in his basement. What's been confirmed so far? And
cleanup after a messy presidential debate. I'm Jared Hill in Atlanta with where the candidates are headed next as they try to sway undecided voters.
well, good afternoon, and thanks for having us in this midday. People continue picking up the pieces following our record floods. We just got these pictures into the newsroom from the west side of McCook Lake, where people are finally being let back into their homes. We'll have an update on the flooding, including a live report from Pierre, where Dan Santella just wrapped up a one-on-one interview with Governor Kristi Noem. First, we're following a developing story out of Minnehaha County. A woman who was trusted to help kids at McCrossin Boys Ranch is accused of taking advantage of that trust and breaking the law. 26-year-old Savannah Henry faces multiple charges, including sexual contact by a psychotherapist. She is no longer employed by McCrossin Boys Ranch. According to an affidavit, last month, Henry spent 75% of her time at work in the victim's room. The document goes on to say that she gave other kids nicotine and THC vapes so that they would stay quiet so she wouldn't get caught. We'll take a closer look at the investigation, including details on an alleged trip to an Aberdeen hotel room tonight on KELOLAND News. Turning our attention to flooding, KELOLAND News just wrapped up a one-on-one interview with South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem about the flood damage in southeastern KELOLAND. Joining us now is Dan Santella, live from Pierre with a preview of his story for later today. Good afternoon,
Hey,
Dan.
Tom. About 90 minutes ago, I spoke with Governor Noem, just a short drive from here. One of the things she stressed in the interview is that this is an ongoing concern, this flooding event, and that support for the people and the communities impacted is very much welcomed.
I think it's still important for people to remember that they can go out and continue to help these communities, and we have many communities that have been impacted. Vermilion is dealing with a wastewater treatment and a sewage system that they're dealing with, so we're working with them. We also have been working with Yankton on some issues that they're having. Canton.
Tom, as you might imagine, a lot of our discussion centered around McCook Lake, that small lake in southeastern South Dakota and Union County that was so badly damaged by the floodwaters. I asked the governor about her decision to not deploy the National Guard there. Another topic we covered was what about all these good people in the state who want to help out the impacted communities and people? How can well-wishers help out? The governor's thoughts on those topics and others will be part of my full report to air later tonight. Reporting live in Pierre at the South Dakota State Capitol, Dan Santella, KELOLAND News.
Thank you, Dan. Well, the flooding in Rock Valley, Iowa has turned deadly. Authorities have determined that 52-year-old Kyle Krakis died in his basement. The Rock Valley Police Chief tells KELOLAND News that floodwaters pushed into the foundation of Krakis' home, and he became trapped in that debris. His funeral will be held at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in Sheldon. Visitation starts an hour before the ceremony. The South Dakota Department of Health will be offering tetanus booster shots to people and first responders impacted by the flooding. The clinic will run today from 2 to 4. That's this afternoon at the North Sioux City Fire Department. Tetanus booster shots are important for people who have sustained cuts or scrapes during cleanup efforts and have come in contact with any kind of floodwater. Turning now to a first look at your midday forecast with meteorologist Scott Munt. Scott, what's going on out there today?
Well, we have a couple of showers, thunder showers moving through northwestern Iowa at the moment. These will continue to move to the northwest for the afternoon hours. As we do take a look at the 24-hour rainfall amounts, you can see we're around 1/3 of an inch in Sioux Falls. So I do want to go back to where we do have the rain here. KELOLAND Live Doppler HD near Jefferson up toward Hawarden. These again are moving to the northeast. A couple of lightning strikes out of those as well. About a ½ inch in Worthington to Slayton, Tracy, Minnesota. Brookings 4/10 of an inch over toward Huron. We had the heavy rain in northeastern South Dakota, I would say over the past 48 hours. We had rainfall amounts over an inch in Aberdeen and over 2 inches in Millette. And we have lighter amounts here in the central and western South Dakota. So we'll continue to watch the storm system slowly move across the area. There's the thick cloud cover in southeastern South Dakota that's been holding through much of the morning. It's rather humid too, as dew point temperatures do remain in the 60s, and we've been able to see some sunshine in parts of central South Dakota, as well as western KELOLAND, where we have a temperature of 76 in Rapid City, 68 in Pierce, 77 in Aberdeen, 75 in Huron, and northerly winds coming in around 10 to 15 miles per hour in many locations. I mentioned the humidity. We have dew point temperatures in the 60s to near 70 degrees in southeastern KELOLAND. We'll slowly scour out the humidity as we go into this evening and tonight. And then notice as we hit tomorrow, dew point temperatures in the 40s and 50s. The air will feel a lot drier. That changes, I think, as we do go through the day on Sunday and into Monday. Those higher dew point temperatures will return. And that's when we do have our next chance at thunderstorms on Monday. Temperatures today will reach the 70s and 80s for afternoon highs. Tonight will fall to the 50s. And then for tomorrow will be a cool day. Some of us stuck in the 60s. Watertown 66, Brookings at 67. I'll have more details on the KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. A majority of southeastern KELOLAND has seen more than its share of rain in recent weeks. The excess moisture can spell trouble for your lawn. The operations manager for the Yard Barbers says a lot of moisture isn't a bad thing unless it all comes at once, which can lead to fungal disease.
When you're seeing mushrooms, that means that you're starting to see fungal mycelium, and that's when you want to, turn off your sprinkler system, dial that back so the yard can get some dry time and get the wetness out.
Says you can mow the mushrooms, but recommends bagging the clippings to avoid spreading them around. We'll share some more helpful information when it comes to rain and your landscaping tonight on KELOLAND News. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on a key case connected to the January 6th Capitol riots, siding with a Pennsylvania man who challenged an obstruction charge against him. CBS's Erica Brown has more on what this means for hundreds of defendants and former President Donald Trump.
Supreme Court justices decided 6-3 to throw out a lower court's ruling that allowed a broad interpretation of an Enron-era statute to charge hundreds of defendants in a January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. The High Court decided its use must include proof that defendants tried to tamper with or destroy documents. Only some of the people who violently attacked the Capitol fall into that category.
The majority is saying here is it can't just be walking in and engaging in a riot that stops either a Supreme Court proceeding or a city council meeting, or in this case, the counting of electoral college votes. It has to be tied to some sort of document destruction.
The defendant who brought the case is former Harrisburg, Pennsylvania police officer Joseph Fisher. His lawyer argued the government is using the obstruction statute as a dragnet. The decision could impact the prosecutions of hundreds of defendants. It could also have implications on some of the charges former President Donald Trump faces in his federal election case.
I will be shocked if Special Counsel Jack Smith does not have court papers ready to say that he can still charge former President Trump with obstruction, arguing that he was trying to interfere with the counting and the counting of those state electoral votes, which were paper, which were evidence.
The court also announced its last day of the term is Monday, when watchers can expect a decision in Trump's immunity case. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.